This is my longtime student, Talin Curl. She's been my student since she was a tiny, tiny little girl. She's one of my most active competitors in the girls division here at West Coast. And before she used to do the kids class, now she does the adult class. Actually, you still help out in the kids class, but you're starting to transition to the adults class. How do you like the kids class versus the adults class?
I like the kids class a little bit more because I could help teach a lot of kids. But the adult class, you get more of a kind of a workout and you get more practice in.
More practicing in the adult class. So tell me about yourself. You are now a freshman in high school, or you're going to be a freshman in high school. What are your plans in high school?
I plan to do wrestling to add into my jiu-jitsu.
How old were you when you first started doing jiu-jitsu?
I was almost 10. I was about 9 years old.
And you are how old now?
13.
What would you say to your classmates or friends to encourage them to come to West Coast and train?
It's always good to know self-defense, and it's a lot of fun.
And fun is good. And fun is good. What are your plans for jiu-jitsu competition? I know you're going to be starting wrestling soon. Are you planning on competing more in jiu-jitsu?
Yes, I'm planning on competing a little bit more in jiu-jitsu, but I'm going to keep at wrestling.
Thank you, Tulid.
Am I done?
Okay, this is my student, fairly new student, Sonia. I call her Hops. We won't get into detail about that one, but that's her nickname here. We give out a lot of nicknames here at West Coast. I used to train your brother when he was a kid, and now he's off in college. And I remember your dad coming in many times and saying that you were wrestling, and I always asked your dad, why don't you bring her in here? That way we do some wrestling and jiu-jitsu. How are you doing adapting being a wrestler to jiu-jitsu?
Oh, in the beginning it was hard, but then I got used to it.
When you were smaller, I know you used to come in here and watch your brother train. What did you think about that?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it. I think I remember that. And it's funny, you didn't like it in the beginning, but now it seems like you like it.
Yeah, I enjoy it now.
Talk about your first jiu-jitsu tournament. We just did one, I would say, about a month and a half ago. How was it? Was it harder than wrestling? Were you more nervous than your wrestling matches? Explain the whole experience to me.
Well, it was harder because in wrestling you have breaks in between, and it's not as long. But in jiu-jitsu it was like 20 minutes or like 15.
I think you did a match that was a 15-minute match.
Yeah, and we didn't have no breaks, so it was harder.
So you weren't used to the continuous time compared to wrestling. I guess they give you like rest in between rounds. They give you periods. They call them periods. Excellent. Well, thank you for your interview, and we'll see you back on the mat. What we're basically doing here is called an arm drag to a double leg takedown. We pull the arm across the opponent's body, and it exposes their midsection, so that way we could do a double leg takedown and take our opponent to the floor. Notice Selena arm drags, exposes the hips, and then she gets that double leg takedown. Perfect. You remembered, Rhea? and I'll just watch to see what you do. You usually do the outside single. Don't think too hard. That's what I see you do. See, I already know your favorite takedown, which is the outside single. She's nervous. Isn't that what you do, or do you do? Oh wait, or do you do head and arm? Okay, do head and arm. Good. This is called a head and arm move. What she does is she grabs her wrist, and then she pulls her off balance, and then she puts her hips right into her, and she just takes her right to the ground. Just grab the head and the arm. Actually, do your move, Talin. What do you like to do? This is called a single leg. What she does is she shoots in on her front leg, picks it up, steps behind, runs back, takes her off balance, and takes her to the floor. This is Alex Gonzalez here with me. Alex has been a student here for at least, I'd say, 3 years?
Yeah.
At least 3 years. How has West Coast affected your confidence in life in general?
Well, my confidence did go up higher. It teaches me that just because someone has a certain attitude does not mean he has more power than I do. In this sport, females can dominate men here. It's just by their technique, not by how much they weigh or how much strength they have.
And in class, yeah, you do go against the male students, and you do dominate a lot of the male students. You're also a competitor. You'll be competing on the, what is it, the 24th?
Yeah.
The 24th. Will you be competing against males or just females?
Females, it's going to be purple belts, brown belts, and black belts.
So it's a more advanced competition that you're doing.
Yeah.
What type of work do you do, Alex?
I do security work at Amgen.
You do security work at Amgen. So have you ever had to use Jiu Jitsu at work?
No, the main purpose for my job is to observe and report.
Observe and report. Very well. Very, very well said. Well, thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Blue does what we call as leg reap, where she takes a opponent's upper body off balance, and then she sweeps the leg behind the opponent's body to take her down, and that's called a leg reap. Alex likes to do a hip throw combination. Sometimes she likes to do a head and arm throw or a hip throw combination. So what she does is she just grabs the wrist, grabs the hip, puts her hip in front of her, and then uses her hip as leverage to take the person down. Okay, keep on going. Puts the hip in, and then throws. So that's a combination of a hip throw and a head and arm throw. So Pup likes the double leg takedown, and what she does is she just sets it up by popping Alex's arms up, and then she shoots in with a great penetration step and gets the double leg. Perfect. Do that again. Just get a little bit closer to her when you do the takedown and turn a little more sideways. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Pop the arms up. Right to the double. Good. And back. I believe Rhea Gilchrist here is one of my first women students. So she's been with me for a while. I used to teach your son when he was probably about 10. I would say 10, and he's about 19 now?
20.
He's 20 now. Oh my God, I'm getting old. Okay, so I remember when you came in, you didn't start right away. You came because of Tyler, and then you kind of started jumping into the classes. Um, why did you bring Tyler in, and then why did you decide to join yourself?
I wanted to bring Tyler in because I wanted him to get some sort of self-defense and also to get more confidence as in defending himself as a boy and standing up for himself if he needed to.
Tyler did mainly the kids class, I remember. We have a really big kids class at West Coast. He did it for about, I'd say, at least 4 or 5 years, huh? At least 4 to 5 years. And then you decided to come in, and you've kind of been with us ever since. And again, you are the first woman that came in West Coast. I remember there was no women back then. How did you feel about that?
I was intimidated because there was a lot of boys and I didn't know. I felt like I was weaker than them because they had more strength. But that's why jiu-jitsu is good though, because it's supposed to be for not about
smaller person.
yeah, a smaller person defending himself, herself.
Herself. And I think it's kind of strange because now, back then, you were the only woman. Now you have a lot of different women that come here, young women. There's all ages here. I believe our oldest student right now is 68, and our youngest student is 3 years old. So we have a variety of family that comes here. So you've been along for the journey, and I appreciate your friendship. Thank you, Rhea.
Thank you.
Selena does what we call an outside single because she's going on the outside of Rhea's leg. And it's called a single because you're going after one leg versus a double when you go after 2 legs. Rhea's doing a low single, and there's Selena where she does an outside single, comes to the outside, and Rhea does a low single where she goes to the front of Selena's leg and gets the takedown. Just do a triangle at first. This is what we call a triangle. It's a very dominant move. It's a really strong choke in jiu-jitsu because you're using your legs to choke out the person. And that is a triangle arm lock combination. So you can also attack the arm from that position. So Talin's gonna roll, follow her, throw your leg over, yes, get your hooks, and get a rear naked choke. Perfect. Good. Do it again. Try to get your knee in before her hip touches the floor. Your left knee. This is what we call a back position. Talin tries to get away, and she ends up in a rear naked choke from this position. What Alex has right here is called a knee in the belly position. It puts some tremendous pressure on the person's stomach, which causes her Blue to raise her head up, and then she gets her in what we call a north-south choke. What she's doing, she's wrapping her arm and using her upper body to choke her. One more time. So this is called a knee and belly position to a north-south choke, which is also my favorite position. This is what we call a butterfly sweep. Blue controls the arm. One more time, Blue. Get your hand on the neck. Blue controls the arm and the neck, and then she falls to her side and gets a butterfly sweep. That's it. This is a great move because it allows the person on the bottom to sweep the person and get the top position. Perfect, girls. Okay, this is my fairly new student, Selena. She's been with us about 3 months. Sonia actually brought you in. You're a friend of hers through wrestling in high school. You are a senior in high school, correct?
Yes.
So how old are you?
17.
17. And how are you adapting to jiu-jitsu? Because you come from the wrestling world.
It's a lot different because we're not really used to being on our backs. But as soon as I started doing jiu-jitsu, I started getting more comfortable. The techniques, it is different, but after a while, I adapted to it because I'm pretty used to it, used to learning to be in a contact sport with people.
You do different sports at school. Some of the sports I think you do is cross country. What else do you do? I remember you saying you did
Tennis and freestyle wrestling.
So you did tennis, freestyle wrestling, and now you're doing jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
For me, it seems like you're always really busy. So how do you stay up in school? Because I know you're an AP student in high school. This is your senior year. How do you keep up with doing wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and keeping your grades up?
It's managing time and just like thinking everything just plan everything out.
Planning everything out, you just manage your time really well?
Yeah, basically.
Something I'm not that great at, but managing time. Talk about your first competition. You did a competition about a month and a half ago. How was that? Were you nervous? Was it harder than what you're used to doing in wrestling?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous. I usually get nervous before my matches. It was harder than wrestling because it was longer and you just have to keep going, just don't stop. And between wrestling, we usually have periods, so we stop and we catch our breath. And in jiu-jitsu, we keep going.
This is mainly a male sport right now, but there are a lot of women that come in. You're used to wrestling against the boys at school, and you're used to wrestling against the guys here in class. Is it awkward for you to wrestle with the boys? Is it off? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Just kind of explain a little bit more about it.
No, it's not awkward because I think that girls can be just as strong as guys.
Excellent. Well put. Okay, thank you, Selena. I won't torture you anymore. Rhea. You want to do yours first, pup? Because Selena's thinking about her move. Do an omoplata on her. It's from the guard. Okay, this is what we call an omoplata, which is a shoulder lock from the guard position. What she does is she throws her leg over Selena's shoulder and she just lifts her hips as Selena goes to the floor. One more time. Again, this is an omoplata position. It's a shoulder lock, very painful. One more time, Pup. Throws her leg over, scoots her hips out, grabs her shoulder, lifts herself on top, and gets that nice shoulder lock. Selena's going to do one of our basic moves that we do for beginners at West Coast. This is called there's different names for it. One of the names we called it is a paintbrush, or it's also called a Americana. So she grabs her wrist, her other hand goes underneath, and pulls her arm back. Make sure you grab your wrist on that. So do it again. Grab your own wrist. Yes, now slide it back. Very painful. It's also an attack on the shoulder. Ria's going to do an arm lock here. She's going to control the arm, put the foot on the hip, and she's going to throw her leg. One more time, Ria. This is called an arm lock from the guard. What she's basically doing is putting in her body in a position where she could throw her legs over her and then get the arm in the position where she can break it. One more time. This is called an arm lock from the guard. You see this a lot in the UFC. Perfect. Go one more time. Slow it down. One more time, Ria. Slow it down.
You ready? Let's go! We were steadily just getting rejected, and it seemed like nothing we could do would ever get us respected. At best we were stressed. Come to do the rest. Step in the way, multiple shots are going through the tent. Can't be touched, can't be stopped, can't be moved, can't be rocked, can't be shook. We hot. When will you niggas learn? Came to get crunk, came to bring life, came to get started, came to get right. Turn down the music, turn on the mic. When will you niggas?
And I'm finna do my thing. It's crazy in the club when I'm in that man. Trust me, homie, I'm not playing. I had a dance floor off the chain. I said, get up. I came to bring you that California love and a little New York hate. It's all of the above. I'm not playing, I'm saying I'm off the chain. You niggas better follow instructions. I say, get up. I fall till I fall. I stunt till I drop them off the show.
Hey, yo, this your boy PC, baby. Hey, yo, man, it's 2004, man. It's a new year. Y'all know what time it is. It's about to go down.
Hi, this is my student Pup, as you've seen her earlier on the mat. Pup has a lot of energy. I like her energy in class because she's very fast and fluid. Pup, what brought you into Jiu Jitsu?
Well, I mean, it is something really, really new for me, like, you know, like the grappling and all the stuff. And it's actually like, well, I love doing like, you know, kickboxing and stuff, like, well, so I think it would be fun to learn something new and, you know.
So I believe with you, you already did Taekwondo for many years, and you like doing the kickboxing and the boxing. So I believe this is a perfect combination for you because you can also defend yourself on the ground. If somebody attacks you and you fall down, you know how to get up, you know how to escape and get yourself out of positions that could be that could put you in bad situations. So it seems like you were a fast learner, and that you adapt your kickboxing to your jiu-jitsu. How do you feel about West Coast in general when you come in? What's the feeling when you get here?
I feel like family because everybody is really nice and, you know, and they're willing to like actually like show me and teach me. It's not like, you know, like Coach Brian's like actually like, you know, teaching, and also like, you know, all the people here, like, you know, they actually treat me like family. And, you know, when I walk in, you know, like they just like show me around and just show me like, you know, all the moves. Sometimes they just like correct me, and I can just actually like go to anyone and just, you know, like ask them. So that's one thing that I really, really, really like about this place. So, you know, feel like family. It's like, yeah, this is home. So.
Thank you, Pup. West Coast is family, Pup. So if you want to join our family, come to West Coast Jiu-Jitsu. We're located in Oxnard, behind Costco, right off of the freeway.
You ready? Let's go! We were steadily just getting rejected, and it seemed like nothing we could do would ever get us respected. At best we were stressed.
Hello again, this is Brian Espinoza. I'm here at West Coast Jiu-Jitsu with my longtime student, Patrice Jackson, also known as Blue. By the way, why do they call you Blue? Blue?
Maybe it's my favorite color.
That's what the rumor is, that it's her favorite color. But everybody calls her Blue. She's been a student here for about, I'd say, 4 years?
Yeah.
About 4-year student. Blue likes doing competitions. She likes working out with the men and the women.
Yeah.
What made you start Jiu-Jitsu, Blue?
I used to do a lot of boxing, Taekwondo.
Blue, what do you like best about West Coast Jiu-Jitsu?
It's like a family here. Like, it's my brothers, my sisters. We come here, we train together, we go to tournaments, we support each other. Coach is like my dad, you know.
I notice you, your hairstyle is after me now, huh?
Yeah.
Little flow hawk action.
I want to be like Coach a little bit, but you know, he doesn't have the curls, you know.
What do you do what's your profession? What do you do outside of West Coast?
Well, I'm a massage therapist, so what my clients like to tell me is I break them, then I fix them.
I just want people to just kind of see that we have all walks of life that come through here. One of the things that I really enjoy about West Coast lately is we got a lot of women that are starting to come in here. Before, this sport was mainly a male sport, and I would say the last couple of years it's changed, right?
Yeah,
can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Well, when I first came to Jiu Jitsu, it seemed like it was mostly males. You couldn't really get matches at tournaments.
but now you have a big support for women. I think it's probably due to the MMA sport. Women see MMA and they're like, where do I start with? Hey, learn how to defend yourself, and Jiu Jitsu's top defense, you know?
Blue, tell us about your competitions that you've done, and what are your goals in the future?
I've done like some local tournaments. I've also done like out of the state, like Grappler's Quest. I've done nationals. I've taken golds and silvers in most of them. Sometimes I'll go in the advanced bracket and get like, you know, bronze, but I'm just there to compete. Whoever's there, I'm ready to roll. That's how Wes does it.
Thank you, Blue, for your time, and we'll see you on the mat.
Thanks, Coach.
You ready? Let's go. We were steadily just getting rejected, and it seemed like nothing we could do would ever get us respected. At best we were stressed. About who the best, they sing on lady tracking hard to come to do the rest. Step in the way, multiple shots are going through. I'm finna do my thing. It's crazy in the club when I'm in that man. Get up. Trust me, homie, I'm not playing. I had a dance floor off the chain. I said, get up. I came to bring you that California love and a little New York hate. It's all of the above. I'm not playing, I'm saying I'm off the chain. You niggas better follow instructions. I say, get up. I bow to I fall. I stunt till I drop more consumer. Hey, yo, this your boy PC, baby. Hey, yo, man, it's 2004, man. It's a new year. Y'all know what time it is. It's about to go down. It's going down. It's about to go 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 down. PT, 2004. We had our backs up against the wall. Come on. Forever we waited, and they told us we were never gonna get it, but we took it on the road, on the road, on the road. In the presence to display an instrumental. On the road. Ride with me, yeah. We come to get it. Yeah. When it all got started, we were steadily just getting rejected, and it seemed like nothing we could do would ever get us respected. At best we were stressed. About who the best, they sing on lady tracking hard to come to do the rest. Step in the way, multiple shots are going through the test. Can't be dance floor off the chain. I said, get up! I came to bring you that California love and a little New York hate. It's all of the above. I'm not playing, I'm saying I'm off the chain. You niggas better follow instructions. I say, get up! I bow to I fall. I stunt till I drop them off the show.
Hey, yo, this your boy PT, baby. Hey, yo, man, it's 2004, man. It's a new year. Y'all know what time it is.
It's about to go down.
It's going down.
It's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go. It's about to go down. 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 It's about to go. It's about to go down. 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 It's about to go. It's about to go down. 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 It's about to go. It's about to go down. 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 It's about to go. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down.
PT.